All right. Wow. Okay. I'm just gonna go right into it. I was watching the International 8 in 2018, and I wanted to pull out this video. I was originally gonna do this video about Overwatch and why I love Overwatch, but I don't play Overwatch right now, or at least I haven't had the need to really. But I wanted to talk about Dota since I had caught a glimpse of the International on my Twitch stream, and I was like, all right, let me just watch a game. It made me realize I'm glad I quit Dota like over a year ago. Yeah, I watched the International 2017 in excitement because that was an exciting. It was exciting, you know. It was something about the International 2017 and the previous one 2016 was really really good. Especially as like a casual Dota fan. Like I've played 2,800 hours. And I'm saying this as like a casual fan of Dota and not like some kind of like super fan that plays all the time. But like the last year and the year and a half, I just haven't had the need or want to play. And I wanted to kind of break that down because I think, first of all, this is my YouTube channel, so I'm gonna talk about whatever the fuck I want. But I think it's a really good way to just kind of look back at this, just myself, right, personally, and look as to why Dota is not appeasing to me anymore, especially in the years that I've grown as a person, and also kind of just to look at it as a casual fan and just kind of put it out here and just talk about it, because I feel like the International 2018, I think at this point Dota has now hit like 25 million like prize pool. It's like one of the biggest like prize pools that I've seen for a game in like, I think it's always been for like the last 3 years. So I just want to just kind of break it down just as a casual fan, and again, this is my opinion, so it's not like I'm out here spitting facts and stuff like that, and I'm not gonna, at least not for this specifically, I'm not gonna be sitting here and trying to preach to you guys as to why I quit Dota, because there's a lot of good things about Dota that I think a lot of people overlook. And I'm not here to talk about kind of why I quit in a negative way. I want to kind of look at it more objectively, obviously as an opinion, but like more objectively than anything. I want to look at it and say, hey, you know what? Why is it that Dota turned me off as a casual player versus, I don't know, somebody else who might have more of a intimate relationship with Dota? Just like a bunch of good things off the bat about Dota that are just really good, which is like kind of, first of all, let's just be straight. It's free to play, right? It's a free to play game. You get it for free. You play it for free, especially in this environment where there are really, really bad games that you pay $60 for, or even games that are just way too expensive that are not for the price. Especially like price versus experience is non-existent. Like you're paying $60 for a game that, quite honestly, is probably like a $30, $20 experience. But you know, Dota being free to play is a pretty good thing for people. It's really easy to get into. It's really easy for people of all ages to play, and that's a good benefit for a lot of people. Free to play, easy access, easy to get into. When you get into the game, diverse hero classes, and flexible positions, right? So when you play Dota, especially as a beginner, I think learning and being able to play positions that you want is really like good about Dota. Straight up, like you can just play a Wraith King, or you can play a Spectre or a Husker, and you can play it in really any position you want. It's very flexible with that. It's definitely overwhelming, no doubt. I think any MOBA is really overwhelming to get into. But I think when you break it down to its simplest form, Dota, especially as a beginner, is really fun and really flexible for anybody to get into. People who are in their 40s, people who are in their teens, 20s, 30s, whatever. It's really flexible, and the barrier for entry is free. So why not? I'm gonna get into now why I quit Dota. And some of this sounds bad, and it's not knocking the game in any way, shape, or form, because the game's good. I played 2,800 hours of it. Fucking, it had better been good if I was gonna play 3,000 hours of it. So first things first is, as a Dota player, I have a moderate amount of knowledge of the game, and it sounds crazy, but I feel like if you're not a beginner, because as a beginner you can learn things, and I think for a lot of people learning is fun, but once you have like a moderate amount of knowledge of Dota, I feel like it just stops being fun. It's not fun because when you actually know what you're doing as a player and what you have to do, things that don't happen in your games become frustrating. I know that I have to support my team. I buy awards, I buy sentries, I buy all the support items, I put them down, I try to help my team as much as possible, because I know how to do those things. And I see my team not utilizing those things because I have this knowledge and they don't, especially when players are not willing to listen. It's like a clash of ego. And so, and it makes sense, because if someone knows what they're doing or someone doesn't know what they're doing, some people aren't willing, especially at my rank, which mind you, my rank for Dota was like 2K or something. But at my rank, it doesn't make any sense to like listen to other people because they're just as low as a rank as you, but you all have moderate knowledge of the game, so like helping each other out kind of doesn't make any sense. It's kind of just doesn't, it's not fun, especially as a solo player, that you're trying to like fight with your team and try to communicate and cooperate, and it just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Also, on top of that, I don't have the hand coordination and the hand-eye coordination of like a 19 or 18-year-old. I'm bad at games. Not only am I bad, right? I'm playing as a solo player. I'm playing these games. My team is not cooperating. We're not communicating. But for some reason, personalities or whatever, it just separates into like craziness. And it's really exhausting. It's exhausting to have to fight with your teammates and also fight with fight against the enemy. It's 1 versus 9, and it's not fun. I was one of those people that got angry at other people for the way they played. But then you realize, like, why am I getting angry? They're probably doing the same thing that I'm doing, getting mad or trying to like teach. It just doesn't work. And I'm never gonna be a professional player, so why would make my casual experience frustrating for myself when I'm trying to like wind down either from like working on stuff or just like school or whatever, you know what I mean? It's exhausting. Another point I wanted to hit on, which I wrote down on my notes here, which is spectating Dota is like really exhausting. And it's crazy to say this, but spectating Dota and playing Dota go hand in hand. Even for like casual players, because the entire Dota scene and Dota community is so intertwined with the pro scene, especially for so long. Like on the page itself, once you go into Dota, you're like, oh, what's the tournament page or whatever the hell they have it now, but like the watch page of like pro matches and stuff like that, and like the TI is the highest one. So like spectating Dota goes hand in hand with like, they're both intertwined to each other. But spectating Dota is exhausting, right? I used to follow the Dota Reddit as anybody else would, and a lot of people say this, and it's true, and I'm not an expert. I'm not going to go into the details and stuff, but as someone who casually browses used to quite casually browse the Dota 2 Reddit, it's exhausting. You have to keep up with who's on what team, which one of your favorite players is on which team, how are they playing, all of a sudden, like, people say like, oh, you should be loyal to your team or your player or whatever. The unstable environment of Dota 2 doesn't make it fun to watch anything. I was watching TI8 just now. I saw the first game of Liquid and EG, and I watched it, and I saw Fly and fucking someone else on their team, on Fly and Crit. I think Crit's been there, but Fly and S4 were on Team EG, and I'm confused because I was like, wait a second, wasn't he like not a cut long ago on OG or something, or something like that, and they like switch up, and now people are saying like the EG OG thing because they're rivals now, but like it's not fun. It's not fun to, like, even if you take a break, people are shifting teams, and because they're shifting teams, it gets confusing, especially if you're not like looking it up, right? If you're just trying to watch it, you're like, why are they playing this? And like, it doesn't make any sense. So it's just kind of like up in the air of like, oh, someone's on this team and like whatever. So like, what's the point if your favorite team composition or players is switching teams? What's the point of like even keeping up with it? Top teams are always going to be on the top. Like, I didn't have to go far to see that OG, EG, Newbie, all these like top teams were already like there. They were just playing their games. They were at the international. You know what I mean? And as a spectator, obviously I want upsets. I want to watch exciting gameplay and stuff. I've always wanted to watch exciting gameplay, but after watching the last 3 internationals, it's kind of gotten to the point where like I expect certain teams to get there because they have the money, the resources, the time, and just they have everything to like play Dota all they want, and so they're obviously going to be at the top because they have all of the resources to do it. They can give up everything to do it. I want upsets. I want people who obviously are at the lower rung to be able to get to the top, but at the same time, I don't want an unstable roster either. You know, it's kind of weird. It's kind of like if all these teams have all this money and all these resources, they can obviously always win, either whether it be the international or the Dota Pro Tour or Pro Circuit, whatever the fuck it's called. And it's like, okay, cool, like that's fine, but like I don't know, it's not exciting. It's just straight up like not exciting. I'm hoping that something that I said makes sense to somebody. You know what I mean? And obviously this is all opinions. It's not like Dota's a bad game or anything like that. But yeah, I went off on a rant obviously on that last like, you know, couple minute or two. But I think that when it comes down to it, the stability of Dota, it's not fun to watch or to be a part of, right? And you need that unstability for upsets to happen because teams or whatever. But when it really comes down to it, the top teams with coaches and money and the resources, they're always going to be winning. It's pretty top heavy. You're going to see the same teams. Team Secret showed up. I thought they were broke. But, I mean, I guess not. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird dichotomy of in terms of me as a viewer, and it's really confusing. And I don't want to be confused anymore. That's the truth. I'm already bad at the game, right? I'm already bad at Dota. Now I have to also be confused with teams. I don't want that. I don't want to be confused anymore. Yeah, Dota's a good game. Honestly and truthfully, Dota is a good game. It's probably one of the best MOBAs that have been out there. Aside from my personal like confusion with the way that things are and kind of my falling off of Dota. Aside from all that, it's a great game. I think that there's obvious problems that could be fixed in terms of, I don't know, in terms of just making the spectator experience better. I mean, the stream looked great. You know what I mean? The whole production looked great. Everything was great. And I'm glad a lot of the Dota personalities are doing well. And I hope I didn't get cut off when I was talking about shit. I quit Dota. Thanks for just listening. This is obviously personal opinions, so don't hate me. It's just an opinion, you know. And you just came to this video to watch an opinion, so yeah, if you love Dota, keep playing it. If you don't, tell me why in the comments. Why you don't play Dota anymore? If you don't, if you do, tell me why. You know, I'm down to listen to some people just to have information and then move on with my life. Thanks. Fuck. You know, this is a thing. All right, peace.